Hey guys, it's Pastor Nick here. Wanted to go a little more in depth when it comes to this 70 weeks prophecy. Yesterday in our service, we really focused on Daniel chapter 9, and we talked about the gospel prayer that Daniel spoke about in the first half of Daniel 9, but in the second half was really focused on this gospel prophecy. And but because of time, I did not have all the time I needed to go into all the specifics to really point out some of the just incredible points of this prophecy. And I just want to take time today to sort of break it down a little bit more for you. So with that being said, I just want to go through verse by verse, verses 24, 25, 26, and 27 and break it down. Verse 24 talks about Gabriel talks about the 70 weeks, and those 70 weeks in Hebrews terms are literally 70 sevens, 77-year periods. So that 77-year periods equals 490 years. So this is what we're basing on, this right here. This number is where we've got to start with. So that 490 years. So how does that break out? And Gabriel gives us the breakout, which is pretty awesome when God, speaks to his angel and gives us all the information we need. Verse 25 says it's broken into two segments, okay? And really three segments, and we'll get to the third. But the first two that's broken out is the restore and rebuilding of Jerusalem, which is 7 weeks, 7 sevens, 7 periods of 7, which equals 49 years. So of this 490, we're taking care of 49 years right there. The second part is the Messiah. That the Messiah will be here in 62 weeks, or 7 periods of 62, which equals 434 years, which gives us a total of 49 and 434 of 483 years total. So that's where we are right now. So 483 and 490, we're left with 7 years left. And we'll get to that 7 year because that's the final segment. We'll get to that in a second. Verse 26 says that the Messiah will be cut off, okay? My personal belief is that this is the crucifixion. And if we look at historical data, if we look at archaeological data based on eclipses, based on earthquakes, based on everything that we know about the crucifixion, the date that we can most likely pinpoint for the crucifixion is April 7th, 33 AD. Do we know this to be 100% true? Maybe, maybe not, but this is the best date that we have. Other people want to point it at 30 AD, some other numbers that they want to put out there, but April 7th, 33 AD, if we use this as our standard, we're going to keep it there. So the Messiah cut off, crucifixion, April 7th, 33 AD. Verse 27 talks about 1 week or a 7-year period where the Antichrist, the destructor, the desolator is going to come in and create havoc. And at the end of verse 27, it says, God wins, which is awesome. So we always have to remember that. But if we're looking at this 1 week and 7-year period, we're not sure when this is going to occur. It's going to occur in the future. And to see more details, Jesus specifically talks about this 7-year period. Revelations does as well, but Jesus specifically talks about it in Matthew 24. So you can literally go and Matthew 24 and see everything that's going to occur in this 7-year period, which is amazing to me. Daniel's got the prophecy. Jesus tells us more about the prophecy, and John in Revelation speaks more about the prophecy. Incredible. All lining up. So, with that being said, we have 483 years that we're dealing with, okay, to get from the rebuilding and the restoration of Jerusalem to the crucifixion of our Messiah, Jesus Christ. So at 483 years times 360 days. Now, I mentioned this yesterday, and I need to mention it again. The Jewish calendar was 360 days, not 365 days plus a leap year every 4 years. The reason for that is because our Roman calendar, the Gregorian calendar, wasn't established till 46 BC. We're in the 500 BC era here. So we don't even get to a 365-day calendar for another almost 500 years. So based on this 360 days, if we take 483 years, again, let me go back to 49 years plus 434 years, these two segments equal 483 years. These 483 years times 360 days equals 173,880 days. So, new mindset. Forget the years, let's focus on days. So to go from reconstruction, rebuilding, to the Messiah coming back on April 7th, 33 AD, we have 173,880 days. Whew, that's a mouthful. That's a lot of days. Here's the issue. If we go to 440 BC, which we believe is the time of the rebuilding and reconstruction of Jerusalem in Nehemiah's day, to 33 AD, our years come up with 476 years, not 483 years. Here's the fix. 360-day calendar versus a 365-day calendar. So if we take 476 years times 365 days, we come up with 173,740 days. Now, these two still do not equal. We're not there yet. We have some more work to do. What are we missing? Remember that leap year thing that I was talking about? Every 4 years we have a leap day. There's 119 leap days in all of these 476 years. So if we add 119 days to this 173,740, we come up to 173,859 days. A difference of 21 days between this and that. Now, 21 days. How do you count for that? It really depends on the death of Jesus on the crucifixion. And when I say death, I mean he was hung on the cross. He did die, but he is raised again and he's alive now. But the death of Jesus on the crucifixion and when the actual rebuilding started, when it took place, a difference of 21 days? Absolutely could be. So that's the reason this is all true. When we say, okay, it started at 44 BC, the prophecy ends at 33 AD when Jesus is cut off because of the crucifixion. Boom, 173,000 days, 173,000 days. It all makes sense. It all comes together. Prophecy is not easy all the time, but it's all the time true. And I hope this made a little more sense to you today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I hope you're enlightened, inspired, and that it helps you understand God's word is always true. Thanks for listening and watching.